with Matt Nagy just about almost fired. I think week 18 he gets the boot. Hopefully Ted Phillips, hopefully Ryan Pace are out the door with them. The Bears have a head coaching position they need to fill. I think this is the most sexiest job in the NFL. I'm not being a delusional Bears fan. Got a great young core that Ryan Pace implemented, but he still needs to go. Darnell Mooney, great receiver. He's about to hit 1,000 yards. Hopefully he hits that on Sunday. Cole Kmet, a great young tight end. Given the right system, Justin Fields loves him, loves those two as targets. You put in some more young talent, maybe the Purdue receiver, David Bell, one of the receivers from Ohio State. Travis Gibson, a rising star in his second year, 6.5 sacks. Maybe he'll get some more on Sunday. Robert Quinn, you got him down for the long haul. You restructured his contract, giving him less money after his, horrid year last year. Having 18 sacks this year, I think that's a big-time piece you need to retain. Khalil Mack coming back healthier next year. Tariq Cohen, another name, healthier next year. Another weapon Justin Fields can use. I'm excited to see it. And then backfield is loaded. David Montgomery, when he plays a full season, he's a 1,000-yard rusher. Khalil Herbert, definitely a guy you can bring in, give David Montgomery rest. And when David Montgomery possibly may go down, you got Khalil Herbert to fall back on. Not to mention Roquan Smith, who's one of the best linebackers in the NFL right now, and one of our team leaders. I think we have the pieces in place to be successful over the next couple years. There's just some moves we need to make this offseason. Not only our head coaching, but retaining some players. Bilal Nichols, a guy we need to retain. James Daniels, I like him as one of our best O-linemen. We got to retain him. Allen Robinson, either bring him back or let him leave. I think after this disappointing year, I think we let him leave. Keem Hicks, a guy we've been paying way too much money to for him to be hurt. Although he's one of the heart and souls of our defense, I think it's time for him to let him go. We just need that guy to come in and change our culture. Coaching-wise, I think Kellen Moore, he could be a good head coach, one of those young gems, offensive mind guys like McVay, Kyle Shanahan, those kind of guys. I like what he's done in Dallas, but I think coaching experience is going to be really valued for this Bears position. A more experienced guy is going to be needed. Kellen Moore, I like him better for like a Jaguars job, one of those jobs. Although I do like Byron Leftwich. I like what he's done with Tampa Bay as offense coordinator, working with Brady. It's probably hard because Brady's 44, older than you, and he's got a lot of knowledge about the game of football. Byron Leftwich, working with the Buccaneers, Bruce Arians. I like that as a move, but it's not my favorite move. Jim Harbaugh is my favorite move as a head coaching position for the Bears. He's already expressed some attractiveness to this job. Being quarterback for the Bears in the 90s, I like that move. I like the ties. Everywhere Jim Harbaugh goes, he wins. Michigan, you look at it, it took him 3 years to, beat Ohio State and get in that championship, but 3 years, he's 10-win seasons. Stanford, they had their most wins with Jim Harbaugh. And in the 49ers, he had a lot of success. Took him to a Super Bowl as well. He worked with some quarterbacks that are there that like to move. Colin Kaepernick, a name you can compare it similar to Justin Fields, who likes to get out of the pocket, throw the ball. So I think he'll have some experience when dealing with that. And if Vic Fangio leaves Denver and gets fired, I like Vic Fangio coming back as our defensive coordinator. I like what Desai has done this year defensively. You keep him on the staff, but let Vic Fangio come in and take over at D coordinator. And defensively, we'll be back to playing like 2018 with Harbaugh and Fangio. I think that's what the Bears need to do. And not only bringing in Harbaugh, but you got to let Ted Phillips go, and you got to let Ryan Pace go. Bring in a guy like Louis Riddick, who has a lot of knowledge about football. You see him cover Monday night every night. He'll bring in the right prospects, and he's already expressed some attractiveness to this Bears, working with the Bears already. But if we can't get a guy like Harbaugh, I like Bieniemy working with Patrick Mahomes, working with a quarterback with his similar skill sets to Justin Fields. I'm not going to say Justin Fields is the next Patrick Mahomes, but similar skill sets. Now, the Chiefs don't have an offense similar to the Bears, but with the talent they have, but that's definitely something Bieniemy can work with. He can definitely get us in the right direction offensively. I like an offensive mind better than a defensive mind when we're trying to bring more success to this Bears offense, because having one of the worst offenses in the NFL is not going to cut it anymore for Bears fans. But also Brian Daboll working with the Bills. I like him as a hire. So we shouldn't let Matt Nagy stop us from trying at the Andy Reid tree with Bieniemy. I think he's way past due a head coaching opportunity. So it should be interesting to see. But Byron Leftwich, if he doesn't come to the Bears, he's a great. Him going to the Jaguars, I like that move a lot. He played quarterback for the Jaguars. Now let's get to the top 5 candidates I have for the Chicago Bears. Number 1's got to be Jim Harbaugh. Just the opportunity to have Vic Fangio back as a defensive coordinator if he gets fired in Denver is something I want to see. Us back to playing how we were in 2018. Eddie Jackson back in 2018. Just enough. Crazy to see. Jim Harbaugh would make this offense a lot better as well, too. I need to see that. That's the match made in heaven. Number 2, Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. I love to see what he would do with Justin Fields. Chiefs offense has been deadly year after year. Offensive weapons we have coming back next year. I think you add in a rookie receiver like David Bell or any of the Ohio State receivers, Eric Bieniemy would change us around. Number 3, Brian Daboll. I loved what he did with Josh Allen. Year after year, Josh Allen has improved. Been a top 5 quarterback in the NFL with his numbers. He would do the same with Justin Fields, making him maybe a top 15 quarterback, not a top 5, not yet. Maybe a couple years. But Brian Daboll is another offensive mind that I think we should take a look at. Number 4, Todd Bowles, defensive mind. This time I'm going to change it up. Don't let the Jets, his success for the Jets, change your mind. Definitely him in Tampa Bay. He has done numbers for this team. They've been a great defensive team year after year. Some of the skills they have, I think we run similar skills in Chicago. Defensively would be a great team, and I think he is another culture changer just like Harbaugh. Number 5, Byron Leftwich. I'm going to stick to this guy. I think him working with Bruce Arians and him working with Tom Brady is a lot of stuff he can pick their brains. Hey, take a lot of those skills and bring him to being a head coach. Him working with Justin Fields, I think that's going to be a great match too, similar to Eric Bieniemy. Love to see it, but it doesn't matter who the Bears bring in their head coach. I'm still going to be a delusional fan. Hopefully we'll win more. Matt Nagy just got to go. That's all I have for you. Peace. Bear down.